Hello everyone, this is MK from iamenergy. Today I wanted to talk about an interesting topic. A lot of you have heard about it. I've heard about it. I think I have experienced it. I'm not sure, and I'll be really happy to know about some of your experiences as well. So what I was gonna talk about today, I wanted to talk about the Mandela Effect. And unlike some other folks, I'm not necessarily going to share any pictures or videos of things that people have been experiencing. I can probably talk a little about some of them that I've heard, but I wanted to share some experiences that I had myself, I believe, and wanted to see what all of you think. And move on from there. I'm not gonna share something too out of the ordinary too much. Well, it's gonna depend. We'll see. As I don't want to attract the wrong audience, so to speak, and I'm still playing, or shall I say, taking safety steps, for lack of better words. And another more reason is I want it to be more of an experience than an agenda or a controversy or some sort of a blame on one person or one group or another. Like I said earlier, we all want to be at a point in life when, whether we experience something negative or positive, we all take all of it as nothing more than a wonderful experience in life. While we're on this earth, in this embodiment of a human being, or we pass over or move on as a soul being, so to speak, from this physical form that we are right now. So, having said that, so what do I want to talk about Mandela Effect? Well, and some of you can correct me or share comments of what do you know or what do you think about it. Like I've said always in the past, these are my own perspectives and opinions of what I understand about them, and I believe everyone should have their opinions and perspectives. Some people say that, well, you need to have a knowledgeable perspective or opinion. Well, maybe to a certain extent in some cases, but if you want to have a fresh perspective, you have, as some of you know, access to the source of everything. We're all connected to each other. We're all connected to the source of everything. We all have access to what is known as the Akashic Records, which is, to my understanding, to put in simple terms, a record of everything that's out there that has happened, is happening, or will happen. But in one way, everything is happening simultaneously. And recently there's been some scientific discoveries, such as about the gravitational waves, which had to do with Einstein's theory of relativity. About there have been discoveries, silent discoveries, that people haven't been talking a lot about portals opening up between the Earth and the Sun. I'm not sure if any of you have got that detail, but you can Google about it. I'm not talking about news that are in for lack of better words, small-time magazines or websites. I'm talking about popular news media. But these were just, a blip news in the mass media or sort of popularly broadcasted news channels. But it's out there. If you Google about it, you'll find that scientists or a scientist or a professor did find or discover these small portals that would open up between the Earth and the Sun. And there were plans, I'm not sure if they have already implemented it, maybe they did, about sending miniature robots or nanorobots or some kind of drones through these portals to see what happens, if they can be used as wormholes and whatnot. Interesting fact, which I may have heard previously in one of the ancient astronauts documentaries, whether I'm not sure if it was in the History Channel or somewhere else, about the prophet Elijah, who happens to be in three of the major Abrahamic faiths or religions. He is described in the Torah, which is the Jewish Bible. I believe he's also described in the Christian Bible and the Quran, which is the Muslim holy book of the Islamic faith. But all three of these are Abrahamic faiths, and there is a verse that I ran into. I believe this verse is in the Jewish Bible, which I might be wrong. Correct me if I am. But I believe that is what is called the Old Testament, which is prior to the Christian Bible, or part of the Torah, so to speak. And it had to do, I'll try to get the exact detail and share it as part of the comment, but it had to do with Elijah traveling on a chariot of fire. And traveling through something, what this was the exact word that I saw, through something called the whirlwind. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I still have trouble speaking in an American accent or British accent, because that's not my original native tongue. Some of you might already know or may have noticed, I am of South Asian descent. I'm not born in the United States. I was born in South Asia, in a country called Bangladesh. But as of now, I pretty much lived most of my life in the United States, more than half of my life. I'm in my mid-30s right now. So roughly about 17 years I have lived in the United States. So about half of my life, let's say that. But at any rate, so the word that was used over there was whirlwind. I hope I pronounced it right this time. Whirlwind. And it's spelled WHIRLWIND. So basically, if any of you know about a whirlpool, think about it in the sky, or in the form of a wind that's spinning in the sky, kind of like a tornado. But not necessarily with the tail of a tornado. But at any rate, you get the picture. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it's another word for a portal or a wormhole. So that was something interesting. That basically, if is mentioned in the holy books, that is, I believe, a confirmation of time travel. Because if you can travel to a wormhole, you are sort of breaking the barriers of time and space, or space-time continuum, and you can be anywhere you want, so to speak. It's kind of like the movie Star Trek, or even more, it's kind of like the recent movie that they have launched on CBS, Star Trek Discovery. They use some kind of spores, some kind of microorganism to create sort of a portal to travel from one place to another. But at any rate, this is not even any, irrespective of using a microorganism, just like in the movie, a whirlwind is basically a wormhole, a portal through space-time. To time travel, I believe that is possible, and which might be one of the reasons. I'm not saying all of them are true, so to speak, but still might be one of the reasons there've been an influx, sort of an influx, of videos having to do with time travelers talking about their experiences in the future or in the past and living in our time, so to speak. Although, like I said, there's no such thing as time, it's just an illusion. Time isn't linear, and there's so many examples I can give right now. It's all in our mind. It's all about how you create your life, or how you portray your life inside your mind. Which is probably why we are not only considered one of the most powerful beings, at least at this time around, but also one of the most manipulative beings, because all we have to be influenced to do is think a certain way and it will happen. It's as simple as that. You think about something in a certain way and it will happen. If you fear about something happening, or if you fear and think about the outcomes to turn out a certain way, there's a high chance it's probably going to happen, unless you change your thoughts about it and start thinking positively. So having said that, time traveling. So the Mandela Effect is sort of, to me, time travel experience, because things are changing now. It's one thing for you to experience your own created thoughts and perspectives, and another thing to be part of someone else's thoughts or perspectives. Like I said, we're all connected in one way or another, and well, in one particular way we're all really connected, which is in the minute form of energy, the basic, most simplistic form of anything, which is plain energy. So whether negative or positive, we get influenced by one person or one being or one weather or one circumstance or another. Hence, not just because people may have seen things in the past or have known things in one way, that they get to see or experience those things that way, have been happening. For example, to give an example, Dr. Pepper, I saw a video yesterday, I forget the name of the channel on YouTube, a gentleman, I think it's called the Lazlow something. I'll try to see if I can find the name of it. The Lazlow Effect or something like that. Was talking about Dr. Pepper currently having no dot in the name Coca-Cola, having to go away with, or having the hyphen between Coca and Cola, and so many other examples. Some of these things are just gonna happen, and there's a possibility that you will not even have time to decide whether it is a change, a new reality that you're living in or not, because your heart may still say, there's something's going wrong, but your brain will start perceiving it as if that is the reality that you have been living for a long time. There's also these experiences of deja vu. Some people say that it might be having to do with past life, that you may have known someone, but it even could be the quote-unquote Mandela Effect, because it could even be you knew a person in your reality that you just switched from, and then in the new reality you might not even know that person at all. Yep, that might happen. Might be a shocker, but it could be for the best, it could be for the worst. Hopefully for the best. And like I said, the best way to deal with these things is take it as just nothing more than a wonderful experience in this life. It's all part of the whole experience ride that we're going through right now. This is some things people have heard about a lot. I'm not going to say exactly what object. I don't want to be too specific about it, but something, an object showed up in my house, in one of my apartments that I have lived or been leaving. I'm not going to say if I'm still living in that apartment or have lived, but something showed up that wasn't there. I had plenty of sleep. The few days before that, regular days, and just one night, I looked at that part of my apartment and I told my wife, when did this thing get here? She said, what are you talking about? This has been there for all the time. I said, I don't remember seeing that over there. Did someone come by to the house and put it there? Like, a repairman or someone? She said, no, it's been there. So she obviously, she's not into that spiritual level as I am, or I wouldn't say she's not, but brother, I'd say my wife isn't accepting the spiritual level that she is in right now. Because whether you are going through these experiences or not, a lot of folks are still not accepting these experiences as real. Whether it's for a religious belief or any kind of other beliefs or faith or whatnot that people might have, or even those who don't even believe in religion. But a lot of folks are still not accepting things. But they're having these experiences. I'm trying to take it slow with my wife, showing her some things, not pushing too much information into her, and she's slowly starting to realize I'm trying to let her understand, and if she gets it, she gets it. I don't want to push it into her. You never want to push information to anyone, whether it's about anything, whether it's religion or faith or anything. But it was very interesting to have that experience, that object, I couldn't believe that it was there, because a few weeks before, I played with my kids in that area with the lights off, and they had these kids' watches with projections in them. And I remember when they projected their watches, because the object wasn't there, it was like projecting something on a wall or a floor or a surface, a flat surface. So if the object was there before, and this is like something permanent, sort of like a permanent stuff that's been attached to a wall, so to speak. It's part of the apartment, one of the apartment things, so to speak, that's necessary when you live in an apartment. I know it sounds a little too much going around the exact object or what it is or whatnot, but like I said, I don't want to put too much details into these things. I'm taking all of these as an experience, and don't want to create an agenda or a controversy or anything of that line, or try to get into that. Because what I have found and figured, the more you start thinking and worrying about things of these nature, you start going more and more into the negative part of it, and not the fun part. Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy that someone would call these as a fun and joyful thing or experience, because that's what it is. Because after a certain time, we're not going to be on this earth, or at least in this form, body. And then whether you believe on an afterlife or reincarnation, or simply just turning into dust particles or energy particles, that's what's going to happen. This form or this embodiment is not going to last forever. Even if you clone someone, that's still another body. It's not the same body that you're in right now. But at any rate, it's too much information. So that was a very interesting experience that happened to me. I wanted to share that personal experience with all of you, and see what you guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen might have to say about it. And I believe a lot of folks have been experiencing this, or these kinds of having these kinds of experiences. But I wanted to share my own personal experiences and see what you have to say and what you have to share. If you had something similar or different, please do share, and I'd also like to know what you guys think about it. If you think I'm crazy, share it. I'd like to see, probably chart out a graph and see how many of you think I'm crazy. Just kidding. But I definitely would like to know what all of you think. Like I said, we're all connected, but that's more for a reason. I'd like to know what other individuals or the audience, which is all of you, might have to say about it, and what kind of experiences, similar or otherwise, that you may have as well. Well, I wanted to might have talked a little more about it, or other things about the Mandela Effect, but I'm gonna cut it short today. Once again, I want all of you to take all of these as nothing but wonderful experiences, nothing negative, nothing positive, because I know it's gonna be difficult for a lot of you to stay positive. It has been for me. It still is every now and then. Like, all of a sudden, the last few days, things that I stopped being afraid of, or having a shock, so to speak, about, all of a sudden I have been having those experiences again. It might be because I haven't been meditating as much, or staying focused as much. Maybe a lot of things are going on. I'm not sure what it is exactly. It might feel difficult, but I'd say just take those as, challenges that are temporary. Not even challenges, just experiences. You just try to stay focused and meditate if you can, or silence your mind. It's not like you have to meditate with your fingers, 2 fingers and whatnot, touching each other. Some people have controversies about a certain way you put your fingers together and fingers open, and think that the number 66 would appear. So I found my own way, so I'm not even assuming the position of the number 66, which is a little absurd, for me at least, when I think about it that way. So I don't even focus on that, and sometimes I don't even have my fingers that way. I'm sorry, I just looked at a plane just passed by. Sometimes when I have certain things that happen with me when I'm saying some certain things, and not necessarily need affirmations, but if a sign of affirmation might show up, that's sort of way it happens. Is I would all of a sudden look in the sky and a plane would pass by. I'll probably get into that story later on. It sounds a little bizarre, but everyone have their own thing, and it's not that there's something special about this. It's up to you or me for us to decide what we take as a guidance, affirmation, or an indication of something happening, or will happen, or is happening. You use that certain method or form as a tool, and you decide upon it, and you'll see that every time you need to get some kind of an indication or affirmation, that sign would appear. And it could be a plane flying by in the sky. It could be a certain number on your clock. It could even be, like, sometimes it happens to me a lot, is anytime I kind of subconsciously thought about it, that if I need to be alerted or be careful, that I would see emergency vehicles passing around. And that happens nowadays. All of a sudden, if I need to be careful or think about what I'm doing or be alerted, I would see an ambulance pass by, or a fire truck pass by, or cop pass by, with the sirens going up or not. So maybe the sirens, if they go up, then that's a sign of an utter or utmost emergency to look into my inner self, and so on. But enough said. So that's basically it. Stay positive, stay safe, don't worry about the things happening. Just take them as wonderful experiences in life. A lot of souls don't even get the chance to get into this earth or be in this earth. I mean, there are children born, and I believe it's to a certain extent unfortunate for them not to experience this life and have it cut short. Maybe it's a great thing for them that they've already experienced their time on earth over and over again, or they probably have something else lined up for them, or something they have lined up for themselves, and that they all of a sudden decided to go for and proceed with. So that's basically it for now. Stay tuned for the next video. But for now, this is MK, and not only me, but we are all energy.